Budget Squad, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you decided to click on today's video to join me for another budgeting adventure. In today's video, we are going to be doing my last weekly budget check-in for the month of November, and it's going to cover the week of November 25th through November 30th. If you are new, welcome. My name is Summer, and I'm currently on a financial journey to pay off all of my debt while saving money at the same time. Here on my channel, I am documenting my journey to financial freedom and make videos on budgeting, paying off debt, saving money, and pretty much anything money related. If that's content that you're interested in, go ahead and stick around and give this video a thumbs up. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and joining me for another video. I truly appreciate your support. So let's go ahead and get into this week's weekly budget check-in. I did get this form off of Etsy. And on my weekly budget check-in, we're going to go over my spending for the week, and then we're going to do my budget check-in where we use the highlighter method to track our expenses. When I'm going over my spending, I will let you know if the item was a need or a want, and then lastly, I'm going to do my weekly reflection. I did go ahead and pre-fill out my spending just to save time, but I will go over all of my spending with you guys. On November 25th, I did go to Vaughn's to pick up some items for Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving week. Me and my son were both off last week, so I did pick up some extra groceries for Thanksgiving dinner and to get us through the week. That came out of, it actually came out of my self-care envelope because I had money left in that envelope. However, I wanted to put it under the food category on my weekly budget check-in. That way I can use this information to help me budget for next November. And that was $27.79. I'm gonna say that was a need. On November 25th, I did do a return to Home Goods, and that was from my guilt-free category. So $14.13 was returned to my guilt-free envelope. On 11/25, I picked up some additional items that came out of my fun/entertainment envelope. That was $19. I did go ahead and put it as food. That way I truly know how much money I spent on food this month. That was $19, and I would say that was a need. This week, my son did have several basketball games that came out of the fun category. When I go watch him play basketball, I do have to pay a spectator fee. He had a basketball game on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. That was $24, and that was a need. For the beginning of the year, I am thinking about changing some of my categories, and I think I want to put basketball under my son, but I'm going to think about that. It might still come out of fun/entertainment, but I'm thinking that it might go under him. That way I know how much I'm spending on basketball. On November 30th, I did go to Costco to get some gas. That came out of transportation. That was $49.12. That was a need. So I did not have a lot of spending this week because I did not have a lot of money left over for the month. So I really tried to keep my spending down. So now we're going to do my budget check-in, and we're going to utilize the highlighter method. And first we're going to track our fun category. I did not have any fun expenses, so I'm gonna put spent $0, and that means I would have $27.79 remaining for the month. Household, I started the week off with $0 and I spent $0. Guilt-free, I started the week off with $0. However, I did have a return for $14.13. So that means I will have $14.13 left in my guilt-free category. For food, I started the week off with $2.33. I did go over budget for food, so I'm gonna go ahead and highlight those expenses. So we're at Vaughn's and Vaughn's. So for food, I started off the week with $2.33, and I spent $27.79 plus $19. So this week for food, I spent $46.79 and I only had $2.33. So minus $2.33. That means I went over my food budget by $44.46. I wanted to go ahead and track it this way because I truly want to get better at tracking my spending in 2025 and closing out my budget. And in the past, I wasn't really concerned with my cash envelopes. Now I'm cashless and I use my Go cards. So I would take money from envelopes to fund other things if I need it, just like I did this week. However, I do want to go ahead and track those expenses under the true category. That way it can help me create a realistic budget for next November or even for December. For miscellaneous, I started the week off with $7.09. I did not have any miscellaneous spending, so I still have $7.09 in my miscellaneous category. For transportation, let me see. For transportation, we started off with $160.68. We did have one time that we went to the gas station for $49.12. 160.68 minus $49.12 says that we have $111.56 left in our transportation category. I do want to go ahead and double check this. I believe I did do a good job at checking all my transportation expenses, but I do want to double check this because if I have $111 remaining for the month, I do want to go ahead and reduce my transportation budget. So I'm thinking that for December, instead of budgeting its usual $300, I'm only going to budget $250. For health and beauty, I had I did end up having a fun expense. I just love whiteout. You can just go ahead and white that out and correct that. The only thing I don't like about using this pen is that it doesn't really write over whiteout very well. So I will use this Sharpie Gel Pen to write on top of the whiteout. So basketball was a fun expense and that was $24. So that means I will have $3.79 left. And then health and beauty, I had $48. I spent $0. So I should have $48 left in health and beauty. So although I did go over in food, I'm not really that worried because I did have other categories that I did not go over with. So what I'm going to do with this information is I'm going to use it to create my December budget. So I will probably increase my food budget, or I think that instead of increasing my food budget, I need to get more intentional about when I go grocery shopping. So I definitely want to get back into meal planning and using items that I have at home in my freezer and pantry to create my meals. Now we're going to go ahead and go to my reflection for the week. What did I do well? I did a good job at staying out of the stores. Staying out of the stores definitely helped me to not go over budget. There were a lot of sales for Black Friday, so I did stay out of the stores, and then I definitely stayed out of the stores online as well. I think that that went well. Where can I improve? I think that I can improve in my tracking. Like I said, I am good about tracking my spending, but I want to make sure that I'm tracking my spending and putting everything in the right category. That way I can use that information to truly help me create a realistic budget. So next week's goals is I want to reflect on my spending for the month and create a December budget I can stick to. Well, that concludes my weekly check-in for the last week in November. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. In the comment section, let me know how you enjoyed this video. Are you liking me doing my weekly budget check-ins and filming them and sharing them with you guys? Or would you prefer me not to film a weekly budget check-in and film something else instead? Well, if you have made it to the end of this video, go ahead and leave me a Christmas tree emoji in the comment section. That way I know that you made it to the end of this video. If you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, go ahead and leave those in the comment section as well. I definitely like to engage with you guys in the comment section. Well, I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye! But before you go, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It definitely helps out my channel, and I truly appreciate your support.